I was thinking about this. I was actually listening. Sent you guys a link of like Hassan Minhaj. He was on the podcast, Colin and Samir, and he's talking about like artistry versus the algorithm. And it's like, if you're creating art, but how much are you trying to feed the algorithm?
Yeah.
So I think I wanted to pose this question to you guys, like as T5, where our art is probably doing stand-up comedy, doing skits, and then where are we trying to get into the algorithm game? Do you think it's going to lead to us not wanting to do it anymore? Because if like, for example, like when I'm writing jokes now, I'm like constantly also thinking in the back of my mind, is this going to work on TikTok?
Is this going to be a good clip?
Is this going to be a good clip? Is this going to work on Reels? And then I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, is this why I'm doing it? So I can get like, however many views and like maybe get another 100 followers? Like, is that why I'm doing it?
You know what sucks is sometimes I'll have a good clip of like, oh, this bit of mine is really good, but it's too long.
Yeah.
I can't post this because it's a minute 45. How can I cut the fat out of a joke that I really like? And if you saw it live, you'd prefer it.
Yeah, the minute 45 would be perfect.
Yeah, but on the algorithm, it's like you gotta post only 30 seconds of that clip, and then you're supposed to also like have it be engaging. The first word, it's like, I hate that at times, but I think that we gotta try to find a balance of, okay, we're posting what we believe in, but we're also not doing it just to keep up with the algorithm. Like, I feel like sometimes people burn out because they're like trying hard to like, I gotta post every day, 3 times a day, and it's like, what is your intention for this? Are you posting because you're sharing something that's valuable, impactful? Or are you sharing because, are you doing it for views? I just think you have to figure out what your intention is and then operate off of that, So for us, I think right now we're just trying to put out some funny stuff. We're trying to, this is the thing. I don't want to be a bathroom artist. You know what that is?
No. Oh, like art in the bathroom?
Yeah, you ever go to the bathroom, you take a dump, and somebody writes like a funny joke, or they write like a funny quote, or like they draw like a whatever. And that's cool, but it's like I want my art to be out there and appreciate as much as it can be. I don't want to just do it because I love I'm such an artist and the whole world can't see this. Like, no, the whole point of all of us putting stuff out is because we try to make a difference. We want to make someone's day. We want to make someone laugh, put out a whatever. So I don't know. What are your intentions when you guys are creating? Like, what is?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what you think, because you're Momo. You posted like I think like 1 or 2 clips on Instagram, but like your jokes on stage are very long, right? Like they're stories almost, and posting on Reels is not necessarily gonna work. So maybe like what's your?
I've thought about that a lot, because a lot of my jokes are storytelling, energy based, and I don't have a lot of clippable. I'm kind of working on one-liners and smaller jokes right now.
But with the intention of
with the
Reels
intention of like,
TikTok.
I want to put this on the internet. Is that wrong? I don't think that's wrong, but I feel like there's different types of joke writing, and I like to diversify it anyway. And I want to, so
yeah. I mean, like I think we're still like really early in the game. Like we're still finding our voice in comedy too. Yeah. So it's like maybe doing one-liners will become your thing or something. But like, I don't know. I think there's a balance to what you're saying. Like there are like jokes that I'm thinking about like, okay, this will work on TikTok, but I'm also like, all right, I want to do this long story and I'm going to like make it good, and I'm going to make sure I do it well on stage, and I'm never going to post it because it's never going to be able to make sense on TikTok. So
yeah, actually I think about that a little bit more nowadays, about the algorithm, because I feel like honestly I don't have much clips and stuff on my social media. So that's actually more on my mind, in front of my mind nowadays. I'm like, okay.
Do you think so? More so than like hitting this open mic or hitting the stage?
No, I don't. No, not at all. I think about hitting the stage more, but it's always like back of my mind of like, hey, what joke can I do, or what should I write that will be clippable, or I could post online. But a lot of my stuff is not, I would say, long form.
Yeah.
And long form is like not really clippable.
Yeah.
Unless there's short parts within the long form that I could possibly post online. But also crowd work too, man. Crowd work clips, that's like easy. I'm trying to get good at crowd work too, honestly. That's easy clips. Yeah. If you have good crowd work.
Yeah, man. Like
Younis is great at crowd work.
I like crowd work. The thing is, I think early on when I used to write jokes, it used to be very questioned. Like I used to wanted to know like what are they thinking. So I'd be like, what do you got? did you guys hear what happened or whatever? Like I just wanted to get their input. And then I remember a comedian telling me, dude, just do your jokes. Like, don't talk to the crowd. And then it just pissed me off. I was like, you're not going to tell me what to do. So then I started doing even more, you know? That's actually what started it, the crowd work.
So you're just being rebellious?
Yeah, don't tell me what to do. You know, like, oh, that's not part of it. Stick to your jokes.
Yo, maybe he was, like, trying to inspire you. Like, he knew that reverse psychology would work on you. He was like, this guy needs to tap into this more.
Maybe. It could have. He knew how I worked. He was like, let's get it to do it. Yeah. And then once I started doing it more, it just became fun. And it made me in the moment. When I do it correctly, it makes me in the moment. So then when I go back to what I have written, it seems more natural than me kind of like forcing it. Like,
do you have any pre-written or like outline crowd work directions?
Sometimes there's questions. Like, but you know what's interesting? Like, you'll see a couple in the crowd and you'll just say, like, you know, how'd you guys meet? Just a simple question. It's me being curious too. Like, I wonder how they met. And usually you'll be surprised that people will respond with the wildest shit. Like, oh, I was at a gun range and then she was a stripper at the time. Wait, a
stripper at the gun.
Yeah, and you just dig deeper, and then it becomes even funnier. But I'm not even like you just kind of, you throw the question and then you kind of just like wheel them in, if that makes sense, you know, like see where, you know, and then sometimes you could see right away this guy's not gonna give me what I want, so you're just like, how long you guys been together? He's hey, how about you guys? I'll do that, like I'll fucking pick and choose, you know, and over
have
time,
you always been like a natural for crowd work, or did you just like, this guy told you not to do it and you were like rebellious and then instantly?
It was a little bit of the rebellion, but it's just sometimes I really do, I'm curious, because like sometimes I'm about to talk about relationships in my set. I'm like, oh, like, you know, it's kind of more like you guys are in a relationship. You guys know what I'm talking about. It was more like that. Just me kind of trying to connect everyone. So I'm not just going on stage going. So me and my girlfriend, we broke up, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, they're like, dude, I don't even know you. And then I don't know them either. So it kind of gave me that like, hey, let me talk to these people up front in the beginning. So now I got them, like, I'm invested in them just as much as they're invested in me. And we're all on the same page. And that's what I feel like crowd work helps with my set.
Also, I feel like a lot of your stuff is about relationships, and that's like the most intimate way to connect with somebody, to talk about their relationship with their people.
People love talking about that.
Yeah. So that's easily, you have their attention and like they want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the most engaging topic, relationships.
That's a good topic. Family's a good topic. But the number one topic is just yourself, too. Like, just you talking about the relationship you have with yourself, how you have relationships with other people. It doesn't even have to be girlfriend. It could just be like, this is how I am as a friend. This is how I am. It's just...
Yeah, those relationships.
So those good stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think the questions that, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but every question he said he asked is like open-ended and not yes or no.
Yeah. That's true. That is very true. You can't just be like, you like this? Yes. All right.
Then you're not going to get anything. Yeah. I really want to get into crowd work too, man. I just feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like...
You've done it before,
I've done it. Yeah, I've done it. I've tried it. But like, it works, but it's also like, I get to the point where I ask someone something and I'm just like, man, that's stupid. And then I just like, and then people laugh. But I'm like, I don't know. That wasn't really crowd work.
But, but the other thing is being like, I think people go like, I'm gonna do crowd work. I'm gonna try to crack a joke on the joke. It's like, dude, sometimes just responding normally is funny. Like just being whatever the first thought that comes to your head. It's like somebody says some wild shit. Point out that it's some wild shit. If someone says something boring, yo, that was a boring answer. I've done that, and that gets a better reaction than someone giving you a boring answer. Yeah, we're construction. You're like, construction? That means that you could say, shut up. This guy, give him a hammer. Like, dude, it's so stupid. Just be like, oh, all right, I don't know nothing about construction. Like, be authentic when you're asking. And that's the other thing. Don't ask just to ask, you know?
Be real, okay.
They'll read right through it, bro.
Okay.
That's the other thing I think people forget, how, like, the audience is not dumb. Like, you know, on, like, Hassan and I was talking about it in the podcast you sent me, where he's like people add subtitles, within these videos. It's like, dude, do you think I'm dumb? I could hear what you're saying, you know? But it's like people tend to forget that the audience is aware, and they know when you're uncomfortable, they could read it from a mile away. When you go on stage and you're stressing, they could read it. When you go on stage, like, they could see right through you, you know? So you just got to be yourself. And if I'm nervous before a show and I admit it up front, I think I end up doing way better than when I'm nervous and I'm trying to be fake confident. They'll read right through it, you know?
What's your worst bomb?
Oh. I remember it was right before our first T5 show. I had done an open mic, and I signed up at 6 p.m. and I didn't go on stage till 1 a.m. It was so many people at this open mic, and I kept getting bumped.
Which open mic is this?
This was in Milwaukee Ave. It was that art building. What is it called? goddamn, I forgot the name. I'll remember it probably tomorrow. But it was just like this artsy building where they were just having like a weekly open mic. But it was mostly a hip hop open mic. People were going there to play music. So, and I was the only comedian out of like the 50 people that performed. And by the time I got on stage, I kind of like blanked. I was just like, because I was so tired. I was so sleepy.
Probably waiting so long.
And the room was hot. Like it was such a hot, and it was everyone had coats on. They had the heaters on, but the room just got really high. Everyone was sweaty. Felt like a sauna. And then I go up there, and I'm like not even a month, barely 3 months into comedy, and then I'm just like, oh, my name is Younis, da da da, and I'm bombing it, and then it's just quiet. It's dead quiet, and then I just hear somebody go like, Phil. I'm like, all right, guys, that's my time. And the host comes on stage, like, no, bring him back. Younis, come back up here, man. We're not gonna do him like that. Yo, this is a friendly space. Yo, run your set back again. And then I bombed twice in one night. I was like, all right, man, thank God. I never went back.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was fun. How about you guys? What was your?
For me, I was booked for this there was a matrimonial event at Mass ICNA.
Okay.
I think in 2019. And I went there to do stand up in front of like all these. It's like a matchmaking event, so there's a bunch of single people.
Yeah.
And then I go up there, and I was like waiting for the event to start. So I was walking through like the downstairs area where there's a bunch of shops and stuff. So I was checking all these things. I wasn't reviewing my set, even though it's brand new. I was like,
wow.
I was tailoring it for the event. I was like, yeah, man, I got this. I'm good. I'm Gucci. I'm like walking through the thing with my friend. And then I'm like, all right, event's starting in 10 minutes. I go upstairs and I get there and I like put my bag and my jacket in the corner of the room. And the guy is like, all right, you can go up now. I grab the mic. I just blanked.
No
I didn't
way.
know what the hell I was saying, dude. And then I just did my old joke, like the bus driver joke, or the school bus joke. And then nothing to do with what they're doing. And then I was like, all right, guys.
That's my time, yeah.
Yeah, no one laughed. And I was like, all right, man. I don't think I ever picked up my check or my money for that. I just walked out. I just picked up my bag from the corner and I just walked out, didn't look at anyone.
That's tough. That's the other thing, walking off after like you bomb is just like, it's the worst walking show.
You don't want to look at anyone in the face, man.
Yeah. Oh, I hate when I leave the stage and people are like, yo, good job, man. And you're like, nah, he's lying.
You're lying to me. Yeah.
Like, why you do that? I'm not that stupid, man.
Yeah.
What do you prefer someone to say, though? If
just
you
don't look at me.
Just don't look at me.
Yeah. Like, I appreciate it. If you don't look at me.
Yeah.
What about words? Like if you
unless
came
it's a bomb.
Like if you came off stage and like you bombed horribly. Like, what if I came up to you, like, man, it's okay, things are going better.
That's even worse.
That's worse.
That's like
hey, everybody knows.
Yes. By the way, we know you suck, but just keep.
But
going.
then, okay, so then you rather me just not even acknowledge?
Yeah, I'd rather just leave. I leave. I want to leave the premises. What sucks is the most recent bomb I had was I got booked to do a show in Michigan, and I show up to the venue, and it's a beautiful venue. And then the guy goes, "Oh yeah, we're not performing here, man. They're gonna fix something, and there's like a leak going on, so we're gonna move the show outside." And then it wasn't outside. It was like half inside, half outside. It was like those balcony seatings.
Yeah.
And the restaurant was inside. And they didn't have a stage, just had a piano. It was like, yeah, just stand on top of the piano. and I stand on top of the piano. And then I about to start my set, and a group of when a girl's about to get married, bachelorette party walks in. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, and they're loud, they're really drunk, and it's not this, like, why are you here at a comedy show, like, so I'm doing my set, and I'm already not doing that well. It was like a weird room, and the mic keeps cutting on and off, which like throws off the pacing. And then the lady just goes like, she says something to me. I had the joke at the time where I was like, oh, you're not fat, you're full of potential joke. So it was like my girlfriend calls me short and I call her fat type of joke. And the lady goes, that's not nice. It's not nice to call people fat. And that lady was really overweight. So I was like, no, my girlfriend's fine now, but you're overweight. And then I just lost the audience. I don't know why I said that. I was just angry, I think. And then she's like, I'm a nurse. And this is after COVID. And I'm a nurse. I work 14-hour shifts. You're calling me fat? What? And then now the audience is like, yeah, she's a nurse. Like, what do you mean she's fat? And then everyone just turned on me. And I look at the time and I'm like, I got to still do 20 more minutes if I want to get paid. So I just keep going. And then, so now I'm bombing. And the lady's like, where's the other comedian? And I'm just like, all right. Because my fear is if I don't do my time, I'm not going to get paid.
Yeah.
And then I got off stage, just horrible. It was a horrible set. And then I'm like looking for the owner. The guy's not there. So now I have to sit there waiting for my check and everyone's just looking at me. And then finally got my money and I just left,
How much you get paid for that?
I think that day was like $250 or something.
Oh, you had to wait for that.
I had to wait. $250 is nice,
If it was like $20,
I would have left. Yeah, I would have burned it, But how about you? What was your worst bomb, Momo?
I mean, do open mics count? That's not really.
I mean, you gave an open mic story, but
Yeah.
That was an open mic story?
The first one.
The first one
was that open mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally went on stage and I blanked. I didn't know what I was saying. And then I just stopped. And then I walked out.
No way. This
then,
recent?
And then, no, this was like probably my third time on stage.
Oh, wow.
Oh man.
And I went by myself to open mic. I forgot where this was.
That's funny.
I forgot where this was. And then when I first started doing comedy, like I have everything like written down and I memorize it
Word for word.
Word for word.
Yeah.
So I go and I didn't know anything. And I'm like, oh. And then I tried like talking to the audience, and then they were like, I guess they read that I was like
weak,
nervous.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, but I feel like I don't really do that now. Like, display weakness. It might sometimes come through if that like, but I'm way better at it now.
That's good.
I'm not gonna go on stage and if I miss something, even if I forget something, I'm not like I'm forgetting something.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm forgetting something. How y'all doing? And then I'll get it back, and then boom.
I have a new method now.
What's your
if
method?
I'm bombing, I'm just gonna fuck it, just go all out bombing. Like if I started my set, I'm like, this is gonna be horrible. Like
I've been on that too.
Yeah, like I wish for the piano show where I was on top of the piano and the ladies yelling at me, I should have just been like, yeah, you are fat. Yeah, like fucking just like go all out. Like and just like I lost the might as well just like lean into it. Like I'm not the only one that's gonna bomb today. Everyone after me is gonna bomb today. Like that's gonna be my new method, you know? Like we're all gonna eat shit today, you know? Like, oh, you think this is a bomb? I got another C4 from like just, you know? That's what I wanna do. I think because I don't know, what other way could you deal with it? Either you lean into it all the way or
you just leave.
You leave,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, but there's levels to bomb, you know?
That's true.
I guess when I think of my bomb, it's like when I first started, because that was like my worst. But now I still bomb now, but like that standard of me bombing is like
not the same.
Not the same. Like a bomb now, people won't be like, people always say you did good, but like it's not like. I don't remember the last time I bombed where people were like, "Oh my god, that guy
sucks." Yeah,
I feel embarrassed for him. I mean, secondhand embarrassment. When was the last time you felt like people had secondhand embarrassment?
That was Michigan show. Like, what was it, like 6 months ago? But before that, I haven't bombed like that since the open mic. Like you said, nowadays when it's a bomb, it's more like I'm trying new stuff. It's not a bomb. It's just like I have a new idea, throw it out there. It doesn't work, and then I'm like back to try another idea, and then
it's more about like how you're feeling in the moment. If you're like whatever, like I don't really care, then it's not really a bomb, I think.
Yeah.
But if you're like, this sucks, this is the worst,
you have that feeling inside you, can't go home, you can't sleep, you're like,
then it's a bomb.
That's a bomb, right? Yeah,
that's tough. Those are tough.
I guess for that T5 show we had where I got a cramp on stage,
that was funny.
That was a bomb to me.
That was funny.
That was horrible. I don't think I slept for 2 days, bro.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the day when I bombed at that piano play in Michigan, I remember like driving, because it was like a 2-hour drive back or whatever. And I just, the whole ride home was just like, wow, I could have done this, I could have done that. I'm so stupid. I'm not even supposed to do comedy. Like, you just fucking get in your head, you know? You're like, I'm not meant for this. Like, it's stuff like that I think that's the tough part. But then the next day, I'm like, all right, I got another show. I got to get back into it. So you just got to keep going, you know? That's all you can do.
Yeah, I mean, the best of them, like, bomb. There's, I think, Jimmy Fallon's show, Tonight Show, like, every time a comedian comes on, they do, like, a segment that says, like, your worst bomb ever.
True.
It's like Bill Burr's talking about it, and there's, like, Bill Burr's like, oh, this is when I was, like, 10 years in.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, 10 years in, Bill Burr is still amazing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if he bombed, then it's like, everyone
it's part of
everyone
it.
Bombs,
it's part of it. Sometimes you literally just, like, I think it humbles you when it happens. Like, I kind of had not a good set in that first, and on our tour, the first Canada show, I didn't do that well, and I'm like, we came all the way to Canada, and I'm doing like this. So then the next 2 shows, I like lit it up. I had to, because I'm like, I'm not good. I didn't just take a flight here to bomb, you know. Yeah. So sometimes they humble you, and they actually you make really big progress. You realize where the holes in your set is.
Yeah, you think about your set more.
Yeah.
Man.
It teaches you. It's a good teacher when you bomb. Like, yeah.
I feel like I didn't have enough experiences. I wish I had more hecklers and more like bad crowds, because I feel like I'll grow from that. And I feel like I haven't had like, that room was so mean and horrid. I kind of want that. I feel like I need that.
But like, I don't know, like crowds don't really get like that until you do something that's like edgy, too edgy, or like crazy.
My comedy's not that edgy.
That is true too.
So like Younis saying like, oh, she wasn't fat, she's full of potential. That can it gets people who are maybe like overweight being like, man, what the.
It's about me.
Yeah,
and the thing is, that lady was heckling me the whole time. Like she was doing stuff, joking. She started dancing at one point in my set. There's no music. She started dancing. It's just like
it's
that lady.
Bar show.
Yeah, it's not. You know, so that's I think what like that was just a shitty situation. Like this lady's getting married. She obviously wants attention, and I just I didn't handle it well. I probably could have done a million things that would have maybe leaned into it, quieted her down, but it doesn't help when the jokes are edgy.
Yeah, that's when the crowds get angry. But like, I think for my side at least, I think even yours, like we don't really say anything that's like
controversial.
Man. Yeah, we're just talking like we usually. I think both of us just say stories about our lives, and if you're gonna get upset about stories about our lives, then like, you're just being unreasonable.
And usually they're just quiet when it's like they're just like, oh, I don't really rock with him, but I'm not gonna annoy him.
I'm thinking about playing around with my style, man. I feel like would you guys say you figured out your voice in comedy?
No, not yet.
Not fully. Not 100%.
I have an idea of where I want to take it, but
yeah, no, I don't think I'm there yet. I think I know like I really like storytelling, but then I'm like I really like doing those like the last T5 show I did the one-liners. Like that was really fun for me, but it's like I don't know. But those are so polar opposites of each other. So
yeah. I would say I'm still figuring it out too.
Yeah. I think we're always as long as you're growing as an artist, I think it'll always kind of develop into something. Like listening to Kanye's College Dropout and listening to his most recent album, I look at him as an artist that's constantly developing and creating new stuff. Kanye
West.
Yeah. But like he is like someone that I think it's good to constantly keep growing. If I found my voice and that's all I do for the next 10 years.
Yeah, but like okay, so think about like Louis C.K. He has a voice that's very like he does. If the special that he did like Sorry came out 10 years ago, it would still make sense. Like this is Louis, right? Right. Like maybe. It's because he does like the same like I'm gonna be edgy. I'm gonna say these things. I'm gonna say whatever that comes to my mind, and the last thing that you're gonna think of, that's what I'm gonna say.
Would you say he found his voice, or he has maybe a signature style, kind of?
Yeah, I mean that's what you mean, like style, voice, right?
Yeah. You figure out like your comedy and your approach and the way you write and everything about your comedic persona that it's so like second nature for you.
Can you talk more about comedic persona? Because there's something that you like. You like to create a persona in a sense, or you like to lean into something. Versus me, I'm trying to be as authentic as I can. And I feel like with yours, it's like no, I have this thing.
Yeah, because my comedic persona isn't. It's true. It's real. It's an element of me.
Yeah.
But it's like a heightened version of me.
Okay.
Because naturally, I would say I'm an introvert. I'm like pretty reserved guy, but I have an element of like obnoxiousness, aliveness to me, which I like to like when I'm on stage. Like I would say perform. Like I'd be like being alive, and I like being on stage. I like being on stage and being like I just love that. Yeah. But that's me though. It's not like it's not me, but it's an element of me. So and it's an element of me that's I know is funny, or there's the channel there that can be transformed into funny. So, but I'm still exploring that. I don't even know entirely what that means.
Yeah.
So like, I'm still being me, but it's a channel of.
It's a heightened first. When I go on stage, just like when I'm looking for my voice or whatever, like I'm like trying to dig deeper and go like, who am I actually? Like, because I feel like when we're out in the real world, that's when we put on personas. Like when you go to like your 9 to 5. You're being like a specific way. When you're with your family, you're being a specific way.
Yeah.
When you're being with your friends, you're a different way. Versus when I'm on stage, I'm trying to be fully me. Like this is where I go to like, this is who I am. And I feel like you have there's no right or wrong. It's just the approach.
Yeah, but the persona is an element of me though. Like when I say persona, it's not like, because if I'm being totally me on stage, because I naturally am a reserved guy, I would say. I would classify myself. And it's, because when I'm on stage and I'm being alive and being how I am, I don't feel like I'm not being me.
But it's just a different. It's your.
I think what he's asking is like, which one is more you? Like, is it more you to be like how you're on stage, where you're more like, hey man, like or is it more you to be reserved and chill and relaxed?
I feel like when I'm on stage, I'm being more open.
Okay.
I feel more.
You're being more open as like and to being yourself. Or,
yeah, okay. I would say.
So that's what you're getting at.
Okay.
Yeah, because maybe I'm okay. I'm like, let's break this down. Maybe outside I'm reserved. I'm not. Maybe outside I'm not who I am. Maybe on stage that's who I am.
So this reserved guy is fake.
Yeah, I'm not really reserved guy.
I don't know Momo.
I don't know. Yeah.
The only way to talk to Momo is go to shows.
But you see what I'm getting at though?
Yeah. But I do. Yeah. That's interesting.
By the way, there's a lot of artists that have like an alter ego. Like there's Eminem, and then there's Marshall Mathers, and there's Slim Shady. Yeah. Does that make sense? Like I'm saying like I would prefer seeing Marshall Mathers. You know, even though I don't know which one that is.
But that's all him though. He has like
that is all him. But I like the core. Like when I listen to J. Cole, I love when he sometimes goes like, "But this is Jermaine." Like and then he like he's like rapping in that pocket. And you're like,
I think to get into that, I need to figure out my voice and who I am. And I feel like I haven't really figured out my. So that's my way. I'm still exploring
it. Okay.
But I do. What I can say is that when you see me on stage, it's a little different than who I am. Mm-hmm. But it's true. It's not.
Yeah, it's still coming from a real place.
Comic persona is not like an act of like, oh, that's not me. It's definitely a true element of me.
Yeah.
That exists.
What do you think, Adil? Do you try to reach for Adil Qaisar on stage, or are you trying to reach for like a high-end version, a different version?
Yeah, I mean, to what Momo said, I think it's similar for me, where it's like I'm reaching a heightened version of myself, where like I don't know, man, if someone hangs out with me like one-on-one, I'm not gonna be like telling stories, like long-winded stories.
That's true.
So I'm just like, oh, like they're like it is entertainment at the end of the day, right? So I want to entertain them. I want them to. I always think like, okay, I want them to laugh, and then when they leave, I want them to be thinking about my set. That's what I want. Like that's at the end.
You know what's interesting? I feel like when we're putting out work, I think this is the best version of me. You're getting me. This is me 100% at my best. Mm-hmm. When that's like a good song, like if I make a good song, this is the greatest. This took all the strength in me to give you the best version of me. And then when I step back, I could relax and do that reserve thing and live. But like when I'm on stage, I think this is the truest me. That's what I try to reach. Like me at my best, with my funniest, with my greatest story, with my I got a minute, let me make use of it. That's how I look at it.
I have a question. I want to go back to comedic persona thing. So do you think from your POV, do you think my comedic persona from your POV is not me?
I think you kind of, like when you say elevated version of you or heightened version of you, I look at it like you should be not looking for a different variation of you. You should look at what is the truest form of me and how can I heighten in the sense of like, this is the best version of me. Not this is my name is Muhammad, blah, 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 but this now Momo on stage. You know what I mean? Like I think I would like to see more of who Momo really is, more than who Momo wants me to think he is. Does that make sense? Am I getting too like...
So is that
am I losing?
No,
I think so.
I'm getting you, but do you feel like when I'm on stage, I'm doing an element that's not me? I'm trying to get you to think, hey, this is actually me.
I feel like you're doing this thing where it's like, this is who I think you want me to be. Does that make sense?
I think it's difficult for telling with Momo's because yours is storytelling, but like what I think for like Younis, it's like we're hearing his thoughts.
Yeah.
And like, oh, Younis does think this because he's stupid, you know? Like, this makes sense. But like when you're on stage, you're telling stories. So we're like, okay, like this is like what he's doing. But like we're not hearing like, oh, this is my take on like my parents being cousin. This is my take on.
Which is I'm trying to get to be like, actually. I feel like I need to be more of.
So you're trying to be me, man.
I'm trying to be like Younis. But like I see what you're saying because a lot of my style is like very character, which is true to that story. But I need to be loose enough to like channel out of that story and just be me. It's still
it's like, okay, it might be like a character version of you or like a heightened version, but like what does this heightened version of yourself or this character version of yourself actually think and feel and believe?
Yeah,
that's what we don't know yet, and I think that you're gonna get there. But
you'll tap into. I think it's over time, you know. And I'm not saying like I got I figured out who I am. When I'm like, no, that's the goal. That's my intention is to go there. It's like
to be the real you.
Yeah. I use comedy or music or writing to
meaning
get there.
The real you, meaning like, oh, this is what I actually feel and think, and like it's a joke, but like, you know, kind of.
You walk away going, I know who he is. Yeah. In whatever weird way whatever way you interpret who you think I am, but that's, you know. Yeah, that's the goal. That's the intention behind when I'm going on stage.
So basically, saying if you want to be a good comedian, you need to know yourself.
No, that's just that's what I think.
So is that what you think?
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean?
So you think that if you want to be a good comedian, you need to know yourself?
No, I think my favorite comedians tend to do that, and like my favorite artists in general, not just comedians. When I look at a song, when I look at a TV show, and of course they're all entertainment. At the end of the day, when you go to the art museum, you see a painting. It's just like I tend to always like appreciate this art thing that this person put out, and then I later come to find out that was their intention behind it. Then I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I'm liking about that painting then, or something, you know?
I see what you're saying.
I had a question for you. I think we'll move in. Like, I want to move it back to what we said in the beginning about like the algorithm artistry. Yeah. So you said like, oh, you know, I put all this effort into my song. I put my full self into the song, and I just push it out. Yep. So like, hypothetical. I'm not saying this is gonna happen. I'm saying hypothetical. You do this, like you put like all these hours and days and nights into it. You put out this like EP or the song, whatever, and it gets like 3 listens, or like 10 listens. Your friends listen to it. You look at the stats behind it. People stop listening after the first 15 seconds. Yeah. So what then?
Okay, so this is my belief, right? Sometimes I'll create something, and if I really go, this is beautiful and this is great, but no one appreciates it, I kind of have this thinking like maybe it didn't hit now, it'll hit 5 years from now. Maybe it'll inspire someone and they'll create something and they're like, I actually heard it from here. So that's what keeps me going. I have that positive delusion in a sense of like, this hopefully hits, and if it doesn't hit, it's fine. I put it out. Okay, I'm still like what I do once I put out a song, once I put out a joke, now I'm working on the next thing. Yeah. Put that out, working on the next thing. And then I think some artists tend to go, oh, I drew this beautiful Mona Lisa painting, but what if I put it out, no one likes it? I'm not gonna put it out. That's fear. That's way worse than doing 3 views. That's a negative 10, you know? Yeah. That's a negative 1 million views.
So yours is like doing the work,
you know?
Like, and then
I
did
my best.
Keep your head down.
Keep my head down, but keep going.
You think it's not good to like do the work, put it down, do work, and then be like,
look up and how many views is it at now? How many? Right, if you live like that, you're going to drive yourself crazy.
And then you get in your own way.
Yeah, because what are you doing it for? Am I doing it because I'm gonna make this song and it's gonna get 1 million views, and then it's like you're waiting. Did it hit 1 million yet? That's not where I get my happiness from. I created this thing, and honestly, especially with music, I'm like, I'll send it to like Kyle. I'm like, I really hope Kyle likes it, so I'll send it to Kyle.
It's people's opinions you respect.
Yeah, because it's my friends, and that's who I'm doing it for. Like when I write a great joke and I call Momo, and I'm like, does he find it funny? That to me is worth more than a random stranger kind of. And random strangers is cool, but I can't let my happiness depend on that.
Dictate by that.
Because then you're gonna drive yourself crazy, and you're doing it, in my opinion, for not the right intention.
Yeah, I think us as T5, we had to kind of like, I don't know, like not to be a pep talk, but we had to get into that mode, man. Because I feel like a lot of us, we get like bogged down and like, oh man, our clips aren't getting views, we're not doing this, we're not getting followers, like we're struggling to sell this show, or like, oh, what's going on? Why don't people rock with us? It's like, yo, F it, man. Like, just put, like, I think like our whole thing is like, now we have to just be putting our head down, doing the work, because at the end of the day, it's about the craft, right? Like we wouldn't have like these things or like these shows if we didn't have the craft. So that's like the base of it.
I think people forget how important the craft is.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I talked to you about this, like the podcast and everything. It's great, it's cool, but it's like not my thing. You know, like I don't want this to be my thing. Like I don't want to be podcast Aldo guy. I'm down to be on the podcast. You know, when I'm in town, obviously I'm always going to be supporting. But I think what I see the podcast is, I was telling you guys last night, it's like I look at it like it's a Trojan horse, and we're going into people's living rooms with this podcast. It's a Trojan horse, and inside of it is our comedy. So when they start following us,
then we come out.
So with that said, follow us.
Yeah, please come on the show. This is just a channel to get you
to know what we're actually about. You know,
That's really, and that's why I'm not like too against it, but I also don't want to be the podcast guy either. Like I don't want to be known as that. But that's not But you know what? Some people though, it fits them well. Like I think Momo's good at Like I like it. I enjoy watching Momo on podcasts.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like
no, he's definitely drive the podcast. Every ones we had that I've seen at least, and it's like Momo's driving the conversation. Momo knows what he's doing.
Yeah, with
so
that
like,
stuff.
there's no awkward silence, no awkward stupidity. Like you know when to change the subject. So
yeah, you're killing it, man.
thank you, man. I don't think podcasts. I love doing it because it's. I like social interaction. I like dynamics.
I thought you were reserved, Momo.
damn.
Yeah, I'm reserved
Who
to the
is
world.
Momo?
Yeah,
Dude?
that's the name of the
Come
podcast.
to the next T5 show. Find out.
But I like conversation though. I'm a reserved guy in general, but I love conversation. You know, I'm reserved. Like if I'm out, if you see me out, like in a H&R Block, I'm just chilling.
Wait. What are you doing at H&R Block?
Who hangs out there, dude?
Wait, so you're a reserved
Dude,
guy?
I really don't know Momo, man. Shit, dude.
You see me at H&R Block?
In the waiting room, what's going on,
Do
dude?
you work there? Is this what it is? Yo, what the hell? H&R Block. I thought he was gonna say H&M. At first, I was like, you saw me shopping at H&M. Yeah,
Like, why would I even see you there? Like, what's going on, man?
Wait, can
You guys don't do your taxes, man?
Yeah, it's once a year. So what do you do
Yeah,
that?
I don't know. He's always there. He's like, hey, just checking in on my taxes that are due in
People
9
want to talk
months.
to him at H&R Block, but he's reserved. Just let him be.
He just sits there.
All right. Carry on, H&R Block. All
Yeah,
right.
if you catch me on H&R Block, man, or H&M, whatever you guys want to think about in your heads.
Okay. I'm picturing you going through the jean jackets.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm probably like to myself, you know, but I'm very like observant of what's happening. I think that's a lot of my comedy, whatever. I'm very observing of people and human nature, and I get to be in that comedic space through that. As opposed to, I feel like Younis is very interactive with his comedic is very interactive with the world. Not saying you're not the other one either, but I feel like a lot of my approach to the world, the comedy, because I'm a comedian at heart. I feel like I operate as a comedian, but it's very observational in my head own. You know, I'm like figuring things out. As opposed to you, I would say Younis are very funny outwardly with the people.
Yeah.
You know?
You know something, though? I used to be very reserved. And at my core, I am also, I would say, like, I enjoy my space. I enjoy my alone time. I enjoy whatever. But it was like I had to force myself to be out and about. Like, I remember exactly when it happened was like I was in elementary school. I just came to America. I wouldn't go out for recess. I wouldn't, because I don't want to talk to other kids. I'm nervous, whatever. So I'd always have my lunch with my ESL teacher, and it was like that for like weeks and weeks and weeks. And then he finally, like, it hit me now as I got older. He probably just wanted his hour break. Like, as a teacher, that's the only time you could finally like relax and you know how to deal with these kids. So he just goes, you know what? No, you're not eating with me today. He like grabbed my hand and he brought me to outside to recess. And it was this kid named Joel who happened, you know, afterwards became my friend. He was like, hey, this is Younis. Joel, Younis, this is Joel, whatever. He's like, guys, go play football or something. Like, gave us a football. And then now I'm like, I got thrown into it. And I'm like, I got to survive in a sense. And then Joel was very outgoing and very funny and very this. That was like one of my first real friends. And then I just kind of adapted. But at my core, I would rather prefer not, you know. Like, I would prefer not to be here right now. If I'm being, I got to be on. But now that I'm here, all right, I got to give my best and adapt, you know?
Yeah.
How about you? What would you say you're like, Adil?
I think I'm the same way, but like I don't get to the point where I feel like I have to be extroverted ever. I'm just like, you know, I'm okay with being around people, but I do prefer being alone.
I do have this is how I know, because I see the benefit of being like talkative with people. I in my head I'm like, oh, I should talk to people, because in my natural state I'm just cooling in my own space. But then there's two reasons why I choose to interact. It's fun just to see where it goes. You know, I like to play the game of conversation, even though like if there's somebody and I don't really rock with them, it's not like I'm against them, but like naturally I'm not interested in them.
You want to name names?
No. But a part of me is like engaged with that.
Right.
What is that? Why am I not interested in this guy?
Why are you pointing at me, man?
Because I think he's trying to tell us something.
What are you trying to fight? Not. Do you not know why you're like? Are you annoyed that a part of you kind of puts up people you don't rock with?
I don't think I put up with people I rock with, but I feel like maybe I'm just a very judgmental guy, man.
Oh.
Maybe that's what
a
it is.
judgmental guy.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know why I'm like this.
Do you feel like if I'm gonna be talkative, these guys might judge me because you judge others when they're talking?
Not because talkative. It's because like I feel like I'm very respectful of people's spaces.
Okay.
And because maybe I treat people like the way I want to be treated. So naturally, I don't want people like
in your space.
In my space. So I'm not in people's spaces. I think naturally I'm like that, but I can see how that can be read the wrong way. Mm-hmm. So that's why I intentionally try to like, hey, let me communicate, let me interact.
So you're not a threat in a sense.
So
or like
yeah, or they're like, what's up with this guy? Why is
I think I have that problem, man. Because like my wife will take me to like gatherings where I don't know anyone, like it's her friends and like their husbands, and I'll just be like sitting there and I'm like on my phone like watching UFC or something, and like she'll be like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't want to talk to these people. Like, I don't know, like I have no interest in like, you know, socializing. And she's like, you gotta like at least, you know, say something like, you know, like what you're saying, like be like, so that people don't think there's something wrong with you.
But you know,
so I've like, you know, started
I respect
like
you
asking,
for this.
Yeah.
I think I respect both you guys for this because like I feel like you guys are better at sometimes like not talking when you don't want to talk. Like sometimes people will hit me up and I genuinely don't want to respond, but I feel obligated to in a sense. Like, oh, I gotta be nice, but it's like nowadays I'm just like, if someone texts me and I don't want to respond because I'm just tired or something. I just don't. But I learned that from like you guys kind of, or like from Kyle's really great at it. Like Kyle's like, when I learned that from Kyle, where he's just like, someone's blowing up his phone and he's just like, I don't have to answer. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, you could do that. Like, that's how I'm so used to like trying to please everyone or whatever.
I think like text is like, it's too much. Like we're expecting like, oh, immediate response or something. Except obviously like there's certain situations, but like, you know, like if I see a text from someone that says like, hey, what's up? And I leave them like on red, I don't need to respond right away, man. I'm like, okay, like when I have time, like I'm in a space to like respond. I'm like, oh, nothing. Like, what? How about you?
No, but that's good. I think that's you getting more mature and older. I've just recently learned that. That's not crazy. Like in the past like few months, I'm just like, I'm not gonna respond. And then like at first when I first did, I'm like, oh my God, like what is it? And I'm like, oh, it's not the end of the world. Cause you know what's going on? Usually like if I was to, let's say, hit up Momo and he doesn't respond, which he responds, but I'm saying like this is an example. It's just like, you know, if I go, hey Momo, and he doesn't respond, I'm not like waiting, like, you know, looking at fuck, you know, Momo, you better, you know, respond right now, you know, like I just send a text, and then, you know, maybe if he responds a day later, I'm like, oh yeah, you got my text, you know, like, that I think that's how it should be, you know.
Yeah, that's how texting should be, man. But I think people like, I think because everyone's on their phones all the time, they're like, oh, why didn't you respond to me? But like, man, I just wanted to scroll through TikTok. Like, I don't want.
Yeah. I don't think I'm great at texting, man. I don't like texting. I prefer calling. If you have something to say, call. Yeah. But you shouldn't be calling me if I don't rock with you. Text me then, bro.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't call any of my friends except you guys.
Yeah, hey.
Hey. Like, because like everyone else is like, oh, just like we'll talk in the group chat or like text. Yeah. But like otherwise, it's like I never really call anyone except you guys, and especially video chat. No one except you guys. Hey. T5 only.
Hey. That's right. Dude, I get happy when Adil calls. Like my phone says Adil and I missed it. I'm like, oh, let me call back, dude. Because like I know, like, you know, you're not you as at your core would prefer to like be chill, but so when you make the effort, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like I want to return it in a sense, you know. Yeah. But sometimes people hit me up. I'm just like, oh God, not again. Like like that BI for instance. All right, that was a dumb joke. Anyway, how you feel today, Momo?
I'm feeling good, man.
Is it true, man?
What's true?
Is it true that you're moving to Arizona?
Wait, what?
Rumor has it he's moving to Arizona.
Rumor has it.
You know what's my dream that I think about every like 3 weeks?
What?
T5 in Sedona.
Oh, like a show?
Yeah.
Or just like we're just there.
Oh, we live in a ranch.
In the desert.
We live in a ranch.
Both. I don't know. It's definitely. You guys don't go hiking or anything, right?
I like hiking.
I've been hiking, dude.
Yeah, you seem very unhappy about that.
You know, it's okay, man. I like it, but it's not like, oh, I gotta.
Okay.
Yeah, but what were you saying?
No, but like.
Because Illinois doesn't have good hiking, but when you go, like, if you go to a place that has good hiking, then you do it.
Like I've been to Sedona and like hiked there and all that.
What do you think about Sedona, man?
It's nice, man. I feel like every 3 weeks I'm like, No, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, but there's something about mountains, bro. Maybe because I'm not used to it. I just love the mountain scenery.
Oh, that's true.
And hiking there is just
Would you rather take a mountain view or ocean view?
mountain view.
I like ocean view. more.
Ocean is kind of
Wait, to live?
Like if I had a house and behind it is like the ocean, I'd rather have that than behind it the scenery is mountains. Does that make sense?
Wait. Are we talking about like for vacation or like where I'm living?
Living.
I can't swim,
Wait, what?
but I can hike.
Bro, 80% of the earth is water, bro. Right? Something
Yeah,
like
bro.
that.
Yeah, 70%, I think.
70%?
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta learn how to swim, bro.
You're not gonna survive here, bro.
Dude, you know the
only a
sea
matter-
levels are rising, dude.
It's only a matter of time, dude.
Wait, why don't you? How old are you?
You doing this now?
Yeah. How old are you?
I can't swim, man. I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because I'm traumatized.
From what? Wait.
Oh.
Whoa. What happened?
Ah.
But tread lightly. He's traumatized on this.
No, I almost drowned, bro. That's what it is.
Put this water away, man.
No, because I almost,
Why
I'm
traumatized?
about to drown here, dude.
I almost drowned once upon a time.
How old
How
are
old
you?
were you?
Like 10.
Ooh.
It was in Hurricane Harbor.
Wait, what?
Was
Was it really?
Flags?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought like actual hurricane happened. I was like, wait, you're in a hurricane? And then I'm like, damn, I feel bad for roasting you.
That sounds bad, dude. If it's an actual hurricane.
No, okay, so it's a Hurricane Harbor.
You almost died in a hurricane.
That's what I'm traumatized.
George Bush doesn't care about Momo. Well, you were at Six Flags, you were swimming?
Okay, so Hurricane Harbor is like a water park in Six Flags.
Okay.
There's this big float tubey thing. I don't know the name of it. You know what I'm
Okay.
talking about?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
shaped like a donut, and I
Yeah.
was sitting in it, and my brother was sitting in it, and it's like we sit in it, and then the water just flows, and I don't know why. For some reason, I wanted to get out of that donut hole, so I try to get out. I go down in the water, and then I try to come back up, but my head was kept hitting the donut,
Oh.
Oh, wow.
and it's a big one.
Yeah.
And the water's pushing you at the same time. So I'm like going underneath the water, hitting back up, my head on the donut,
Kidding,
going
man.
down, trying to swim, hitting my head back on the donut. And then the lifeguard comes because I'm in the water for like a minute now. And now I'm like, oh, I'm dying. Oh,
Oh, no.
And my brother's like not doing anything. What a horrible brother, man.
Snake.
Snake. My brother's a snake.
So
man.
wait, did you know how to swim at that time? Like, did you know?
No, I
Did your
didn't.
brother know
So
how
why
to
did you-
swim? Wait.
Yeah, I think my brother knew how to swim. My brother knows how to
Because that
swim.
makes a difference. If he didn't save you because he doesn't know how to swim, then,
Nah.
then the whole family goes down the tube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's like.
I think
But-
he was yelling at me.
Okay.
My brother was just yelling at me.
Damn.
He's like, oh,
Because
why'd you
I
do
went
that?
out. Why the hell did I go down?
That is.
Yeah. He's like, why'd you do that? You stupid.
Yeah.
So the lifeguard, did they give you CPR kind of thing? Or like.
No, the lifeguard yelled at me. He's like, "Why'd you go out? Why'd you go under?"
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was 10. I don't remember what was going through my head.
You could have just fell too. Like, why is he yelling? Like, save me.
Yeah, that's your job, bro. That's your only job.
Literally.
Why are you yelling at me?
Like, damn it, man! You're making me do my job.
Yo, idiot, get off. You know? Like,
Yeah. So like after that, I'm like I didn't want to go. I don't go to the beach. I don't like.
Oh wow.
damn.
But that's something on my list that I'm like I want to learn how to swim.
Damn.
But
You know
yeah,
what?
after that, I
T5's going to invest in your swimming lesson.
thank you, man. That is embarrassing though that I can't swim.
Man.
Mm.
I've almost drowned before, too. At Six Flags, actually, as well, in the same water park. Because you know how, like, sometimes the water is, like, 4 foot, 5 foot. The more you go farther, the deeper it gets.
Oh, you're
So-
stuck in the 4-foot water.
So I was in the 4 foot water. I could do it. I could do 4 foot. I'm like, oh, look at me fucking dancing. And then I'm like fucking around. And then somebody like that is swimming. You know how people swim? They like kick their legs.
Yeah.
They kicked me into the 6 foot water. Like I just fucking,
Oh.
I got kicked really hard. And then before I knew it, then I started struggling. And then I was drowning. And then like a dude lifeguard saved me. And I have to
Did he yell at you?
He was so swole, bro. He was really swole. And I just remember feeling like oh, he saved me.
Eunice is like, he's like, pull me back in.
Let me try it again, you know, dude. It was hot,
Throw
bro.
me back in.
Dude, that day I questioned myself, like maybe I'm, but this dude saved my life, man.
Amen.
Yeah.
And I wanted him to do the CPR where like they could, breathe in my mouth.
Wait, you wanted that?
No, I'm joking.
Oh. Wait, he didn't. He didn't yell at you.
No, he didn't. Yeah, he was like a fatherly figure. He just kind of like protected me, and he was like, "You're good, man." And then he kind of like. Then when I went back in the 4 foot water, like, "Hey, I'm good now." Like, I can do
Just
this.
dancing again.
Like it went back into
So
it.
he
you
didn't
know?
yell at you?
No, he didn't. He was a nice guy. He did his
Man.
job. He needed a promotion.
Damn, bro.
Do you have any water experiences?
No, I learned how to swim. I was pretty like maybe 7 or something. There was a swimming pool in our apartment complex, so like my brothers would go, and I just learned by just going a bunch of times. I never took a class or anything, but I know how to swim. I'm not like a great swimmer, you know. Like if you throw me in like 12 feet water, like I'll be able to maintain. But then like after a while, I'll be like, yo, get me the hell out of here, kind of thing, you know. Yeah. Oh, crazy story! I saw someone drowning.
Did you save them?
No, I didn't know they were drowning. It's really weird, man. I think in San Diego, I was like walking across like they had like these piers, like all these piers where all these boats were, and I was just walking across the pier, and then I get to one pier and I see this guy in the water, has his clothes on, his jeans, everything, and he's just like
struggling.
He's not saying anything, and he's just floating. So I'm like, I looked at him, and then there's a guy who was also like there at the pier, and we're like, oh, is this guy like hey, are you okay? Like we asked him, and he just wouldn't say anything. He wasn't saying anything, and then we're like, do you need help? Like anything? Like what's going on? Because he was in clothes, and like he's just floating. So I'm like, okay, he's floating, so he's not drowning. No. So then me and this guy, we called the police, like the lifeguard, police, whatever, and then they came. And they were like, can you swim? And he's not saying anything. And then they said like, hey, swim to this rope. And then he just did it. And then he came out. At this point, I was like, yo, F it. The cops are here. I don't want to get questioned. So I just left.
Yeah.
Damn. But I found out later that when you're drowning like that, you're technically drowning because you don't know how to get up. You're freaking out. You can't talk. Oh. So the dude was just... He didn't know what to do, so I was just like, "Oh shit!" Like I thought he was fine or whatever.
You were getting angry at him, like, "Come on, yo, say something,
say something, man." No, but the thing is, his head was above water the whole time. Oh, wow. But he was free. He was tweaking probably in his head, but he couldn't say anything.
Damn.
So, but the guy I was with, or like he was just there. He's the one who called the cops. And then I was like, "All right, I'm leaving, man. I'm not gonna be dealing with this."
Like I was working at Export, for like this was 3 years ago or something. I was working there, and a dude had a heart attack at the Export pool.
Yeah.
No way.
And and then like what's crazy is some random dude's like, "Hey, someone's drowning in there." Like, what? I run there. We called 911. You know, we help him, and you know, he was like having trouble breathing a little bit once we took him out. But like, yeah, it was crazy. But I was just like, dude, like,
someone's drowning in there.
About the workout, and I was like, that shit was crazy, dude. That guy's the worst. Like,
you done with this machine? Yeah, someone's drowning in there.
I remember thinking like, I mean, he helped, but he didn't. You know what I mean? T5. And I'm trying to be better, man.
Are you though?
Nah.